Oh, yes. Well, here we are again, boys and girls. So just to give you a heads up here on what I'm doing right now, I finally just nixed the whole Wi-Fi thing. I got a 100-foot Cat 7 cable in here. We are directly wired in now. So hopefully this actually works without cutting us off yet again. This is just a test, so you guys know. I just want to make sure this works, and thank you very much for testing this with me. Well, hey, while we're testing it, let's just do some questions and answers. Why not, right? Yes, everybody's saying hello. Hi, guys. This is cool, man. Okay, so first of all, before I go through that, is the sync between the video and the audio, is it matching my lips? You know what I mean? So it gets out of sync sometimes if my Wi-Fi is crappy, but no Wi-Fi now. So I'm hoping this is going to be good. John R. Little lag, he says, but sound is good. Hopefully this works out. When I was doing it on Wi-Fi, guys, it would go good for like 10-15 minutes where everything was fine, everything was smooth, and then the Wi-Fi would totally crash and just go down and down and down, and then until it was just off and it disconnected us. So I was just sick of dealing with it. She's hardwired in now. So I really hope this works. Oh man, if this doesn't work. I did a speed test before I came on today, and right where I'm sitting right now with this laptop and with a 100-foot cable, it was showing 650 megabyte download and 21 upload. And that's way better than I've ever got out here, like way better, like 4 times as good, maybe 5-6 times as good, but it's consistent, right? Okay, so just letting you guys know that. See, now I was yapping right there. All these comments are flying by on me right now, so I'm going to back up a little bit. Who is the first guys here? Scrolling up. Man, the comments just flying by right now. How many? Oh, 200, almost 200 people on here. Awesome. This is cool. If it works right, this is cool. Chris Bath, absolutely, man. Things are going great here. I hope you're doing great in the UK, mate. Leon Nan, hey, can you talk about mechanic in a bottle? Use it on a 6-year-old Echo, and it came to life after a few days. You know, I've heard about mechanic in a bottle for a long time now, and I actually, honestly, I don't have any experience with it. I've never got a bottle of it before, but I certainly do see a lot of things on the internet saying that that stuff actually works. I personally don't have any experience with it though, so I really can't talk about that like you ask. I'm sorry, man. I am gonna get some. I've got so many comments about mechanic in a bottle. I'm gonna try some and see if it's the same as any of that other stuff out there. There's lots of stuff out there that claim what mechanic in a bottle claims. You guys can hear me okay and everything? Yeah. Loud and clear in South London. Right on, Dan Turner. Everybody's saying this is working. Oh, I'm so happy. I am so happy right now that this is actually working. As long as it doesn't shut off in 10 minutes. Oh, see, GM guy, 3-car. Your lips are off to speech, but it's tolerable. Oh, that's interesting. Darcy Grant, video is slightly lagging, slightly. Maybe this will smooth out a bit. I don't know. We're all looking good so far here. Blair Fright, dry throat, maybe a bud. No, man. Look what I got here today. PBR. I thought you guys, you Americans out there, I thought you guys would really appreciate this. Isn't PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon, isn't that like your staple down there? Like us Canadians, our staple is Lucky or Kokanee, something like that. But Pabst PBR, that's what I'm. PBR. Oh, good call, buddy. No more dry throat. Thank you for that. Not lagging here, no lag here. Excellent. Tom B. I don't even want to say that out loud. But yeah, giddy up, brother. No lag now. Excellent. Ohio's looking good. Excellent. Just so you know, I got to say it again. The comments are going by. I read the comments on the right hand side of my screen. They're going by so fast as everybody's typing. 240 people in here all typing, which is great. Thank you for doing that. It is just kind of hard for me to keep up. Life's adventure. Hey Steve, what are your thoughts on the new generation Husqvarna chainsaws? I have a 555. Are you talking about the not the Am, still is Amtronic, but Husqvarna has another one that's the same. I just can't actually remember what the name of that is, but is that what you're talking about? The new generation with it's computerized now. There's no adjusting screws on it. It's just computerized. Prospecting with disabilities. Smash the like button, guys. J Mac, it's Shaw, right? I live on Vancouver Island, so we pretty much have like two. There's Shaw Cable, Shaw Internet providers, and there's TELUS. So I'm using Shaw right now, and it seems to be good. I mean, we're paying for 600 megabyte a second connection, and when I just tested this thing, I tested it with three different speed tests, not just Shaw, two other ones, and they all came back at 650 and 21 upload. So we're actually technically getting a little bit better than what we're even paying for right now. This is obviously working better than it did when I did this on what I do on Saturday or Sunday morning, I think. This is obviously working. Aviator 007. What's your favorite beer? I've said this before. I have two favorite beers, free and cold. That's my favorite beers right there. Yeah, Steve Thoreau. You live close to Buck and Billy Ray? Damn right I do. 7-minute drive. I jump in my car right now. I can be at Buck and Billy Ray's house in 7 minutes. I actually timed it. He's doing good. I talked to him on the phone a little bit ago. He's actually doing really good, and his family's doing really good. So that's awesome. Ireland's Ireland. Yes, I think you just posted another one up here. This is actually a good question, but I don't know if I'm able to answer you. Ireland says, hey Steve, how's it going? What's the replacement adjustable carb for the MS 170? I live in the UK. My carb is trash. Thanks. That is one of the biggest problems that I have with a Stihl MS 170. It's the smallest little chainsaw that Stihl makes, and it is a non-adjustable carburetor except for the idle. But there is no low speed, no high speed adjustments on that carburetor. It is frustrating, especially for a mechanic, because you can't do anything with that. You're asking me what is, if you can get a replacement carburetor for that that is adjustable. I'm not 100% sure. I would really like to experiment with that and play with that a little bit. I think that possibly maybe if you go to an MS 210, as soon as it gets into the 210, 230, 250s, I think possibly maybe the carburetor from one of those will fit on an MS 170, and then it is adjustable. That is something I need to look into, and that will be a video. That will be a video. I can't answer all your questions, guys, because sometimes I haven't I haven't tried it, you know. I can read everything you are reading on the internet, but I still haven't tried it. Craig E, hit that like button for Steve. Oh man, it just jumped way forward here. Abu Faid. Yeah, see. Don't yell at me for pronouncing your name wrong. Abu Fahad. I'm pronouncing it wrong. I already know I am. But that's a good question, though. What do you think about Echo chainsaws? You got to be more specific on that. I think that the top manufacturers in the world, obviously, are Husqvarna, Stihl, and Echo. They all have their good things and they all have their bad things. Be a little bit more specific on that, Abu, depending on what size of chainsaw you're thinking of. If you're thinking of buying one, whether it's a small little tiny little chainsaw for pruning, or a medium chainsaw, or a big pro saw. Excellent. Everybody's still saying that the signal's good. Aviator 007, what is the easiest chainsaw to work on? I can tell you this, that the old, well, let's not even go to old saws. The new stuff that you're going to be buying right now, Husqvarna are good chainsaws generally, but they are kind of hard to work on compared to a Stihl or an Echo. You have a Stihl chainsaw, most Stihl chainsaws, you can take the carburetor off of that thing in 4 minutes flat. Some Husqvarnas take a lot more than that to get even just get the carburetor off. Loud and clear. I love it. what Charles Banks, what do you think about pulling? Wait a second, somebody just corrected me on one of my comments. They said it's pronounced Poland. I think they said technically it's pronounced Poland. What do I think about those chainsaws? They are very, very inexpensive. You can buy those at box stores, Rona, Home Depot, Lowe's. That they're box store chainsaws. They're very inexpensive, and they're very inexpensive for a reason. The biggest reason that I do not like Poland chainsaws is because of the anti-vibration system. Every time a Poland chainsaw comes in and I have to just take it outside for 3 minutes to take my digital tack and tune the carburetor in to where it's running the right speed and everything, you know, after the repair is done, 5 minutes using one of those things and my hands are numb. There's like barely any anti-vibration system on those things, unless you get into the higher, more expensive ones. But those little ones, there's pool ones that are out there called the Wild thing. They were like green and purple color. A lot of you guys know what that is. And they just vibrate like crazy in your hands. I fire one of those up and I just go, how does somebody even use one of these things? My hands are numb after just 3 minutes of adjusting the carburetor. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. Your feed is going good. Love it. Oh, this is awesome. Wild prospect with disabilities, Wild things. Exactly. The purple and green ones. Good signal in England. Right on, mate. Hey, there's a great question right there too. Crowd surfing geezer. He says, "Do you like aftermarket carbs?" You know what? I've used so many aftermarket carburetors in my life, whether they be for a lawnmower, a chainsaw, a weed eater, leaf blower, whatever. And I have never had a problem with one. They are so inexpensive. And even if sometimes, say you got buy an aftermarket Honda carburetor for your lawnmower, and some people do that, and they'll say, "Well, Steve, I just watched your video on how to fix a surging engine." I've got aftermarket carburetors before and put a brand new carburetor on it, and it still surges. The RPMs are going up and down, and I take the pilot jet out of the top and do my thing on that I did on that video, and it runs absolutely perfectly again. Just because it's a brand new carburetor doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work properly. I have no problem with aftermarket carburetors at all. They're so inexpensive. You go to Amazon, click on one of my links for an Amazon link, and it's ridiculous how cheap they are. Hello from Northern Illinois. Thanks, Greg. Hello back. Harvey Gibson, what kind of question is that? What is your opinion on the UK? Are you kidding me? I love the UK. I live in Canada. I live on Vancouver Island, and I think the last time I checked, there is, I think it's 5% of all my views come from the UK. I think it's 5. So I love you guys over there. I always try to say petrol when I'm talking to you guys. Not gas. It's not gas. It's petrol. And another guy corrected me. Also Australia. You got to say petrol when you're talking to an Australian. Thanks, Bob Brown. Thank you. Greetings from Belgium. Wow, you guys are all over there. Aren't you guys supposed to be asleep over there right now? It's 12:30 p.m. right now, just after lunchtime for me. Simon, I have never been to the UK. I want to. I want to see, you know what I want to see? I want to see that Stonehenge. That's what I want to see. Joe Raymond, where do you live? I live on Vancouver Island. You look on a map, you know where Seattle is if you're in the United States. I live like straight north this much. You look at Seattle on the map, and I live right there. Go a little bit north across the border, and there's Vancouver Island. That's where I live. Just getting tons of comments right now, guys. 271 of you guys watching this. This is cool. This is cool. You know what? Everything is working out fantastic right now. How long have we been on? Can I see Still okay. We've been on for exactly 20 minutes and nothing's crapping out. Nothing is going wrong here. I think we got this fixed, you guys and girls. I think we got this fixed. Hardwired in was the key for sure. Okay, I'm just reading. Don't look. I got a lot of comments like that. Thomas Wiseman, what? I think it's Wiseman. Steve, you demand. You wouldn't believe how many comments I get every day on my channel for one video or another saying, Steve, you demand. I love that. That's actually pretty flattering when somebody says that to me. Thanks, buddy. South Carolina, Teddy Pender. Oh, I always wanted to go to South Carolina too. I've been down to the States lots of times. I've been to 40 years ago. Been to LA, San Diego many times. I love going down there. All the West Coast is what I really been down there lots of times. Never really too much to the East Coast. Ireland's. Oh, I lost it now. Boy, these messages are going fast. I can't find that one again. That's a good question too. Michael Chapman. What do you think about Mariama products? Trimmers, etc. Why are parts so hard to find? You know what? Mariama products, I haven't worked on a lot of them. They're not really common where I live. But every Mariama trimmer, it's usually trimmers or blowers that I get in, seem to be extremely high quality. I actually really like Mariama products. I do. I just don't have a lot of experience with them. I've never had a bad experience with them, put it that way. They're just not really, there's not a lot of dealers where I live that even sell those. Jeff Ferguson, watching all the way from Victoria, BC. Laughs out loud. Right on, buddy. You want to drive up here right now? You'll be here in an hour and 45 minutes. Don't judge the U.S. by California. Yeah. Dewey. I hear you, buddy. I get it. I just love it. I mean, people are just firing comments down here saying Scotland loves you, Ireland loves you, the UK loves you. Oh, this is awesome. I'm so happy that this whole live thing is actually working now. Is it still good, you guys? 24 minutes we've been on. Are you getting any glitching, desyncing with my lips and audio and video desyncing or anything like that? Mark Gibney, are Oregon a good brand? Or sorry, oops, I said it again. I got in big trouble when I did a video on that because I said Oregon. And they went, down here we pronounce it Oregon. My mistake. Are Oregon a good brand? I have been using Oregon products. They're an aftermarket company, kind of like Stens is, where they put out aftermarket parts that aren't original OEM, original engine manufacturer parts. Oregon is Man, I have never, there's nothing that's ever happened between me and Oregon or products that have ever made me go, these things are crap. Nothing like that at all. I think they're a good product. I really do. Creus says they have high quality parts. I agree. They do have high quality parts. Sherman Sherman says PBR is the only thing that kills coronavirus. Protect yourself. Just drink just drink this and you're fine. Everything works fine here in Sweden. This is awesome. This has been a good test, you guys. This is originally why I wanted to do this. It turned into a Q&A. I didn't expect it to, but I was just really wanting to test this new connection that I have to make sure it works. And obviously it works. 26 minutes in, all you guys seem to be pretty happy with how the connection's working. So I'm tickled pink. Now now my mouse stopped working. Nope, there it is. Florida. Excellent. Yeah, there's a good one, Creus. Love their chains. Oregon. They have most small engine shops where I live sell Oregon chain. They not only Oregon chain, but they will sell steel chain and Oregon Husky chain. I don't know if you guys know this. Husqvarna chain. If you buy a Husqvarna chain, it's actually made by Oregon. They just put a different stamp on it. It's the exact same chain. That's a big one for Oregon right there. Is making chainsaw chain. David Goins, love your channel. You've saved me a bunch of money. Exclamation point. Dave, I just love that. I can't get enough of those comments. That is why I started this channel 3 years ago. Straight up. That's why I'm here. I love when somebody says, you just saved me a crap load of money. And I just love it. So it's such a pleasure for me to actually help you guys do that. Kai the Beast. Hey, bro, you're awesome. Do you work out because you look strong? I haven't worked out for a very long time. Don't tell my wife. Don't tell my wife. She thinks I work out every day. Wyland, you learned how to tune a carburetor from one of my videos, and it worked. Obviously, it must have worked for you, so that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Hi from Slovakia. Wow, I've never seen that before. Dave Roth, good question. What do you think of Chinese chainsaws? The Chinese knockoffs, maybe they're knockoff of something. They're obviously every part on them is aftermarket. I don't have a lot of experience with them, to be honest with you. I want to. I want to get one. Test it out. I'm not 100% sure how to respond to that question. I don't really know. I just don't have enough enough experience with them. Why do you think? What? Oh, show. I see. Kai the Beast. Hey, bro, I just subscribed because you're so funny. I'm not trying to be funny. I get that a lot on my channel, you know. I get comments all the time on some of my videos saying, "Good, you dude, you were hilarious on that." And I'm like, "Really? I wasn't trying to be hilarious. I wasn't trying to actually even be funny, but some people, maybe I just come across like that. I'm glad you like it if you do like it, but I try to make my videos informative and also make a little entertainment in there just to make it easier to get through like the lesson or whatever you want to call it, right? The tutorial makes it a little bit easier. Wow, I haven't heard of that. Uncle Allah. Uncle, I don't know how to pronounce that again. He says, "Why don't you start a new Beachcombers 2 show?" A lot of you guys out there aren't even going to understand that. Beachcombers was a real hit TV show around here. And it was actually filmed not very far from me. It was over on the mainland up in the Sunshine Coast somewhere, and that's where they filmed that. It was a hit TV show, but old. It was like 70s, I think. Of course I do. Rick Washuk. Steve, do you ever watch Terrell Fixes All? Of course I do. Terrell's my buddy. Kyle is his son. There's other guys that work there. They're a hoot, man. Absolutely. I think Terrell is actually an extremely good mechanic, and he tries his best to be like really entertaining. We did a bit of a oh yeah, we did a bit of a collaboration there where he was doing a EFI, an electronic fuel ignition, electronic fuel EFI. I'm just going to call it that for now. He did that, and then he did it where he phoned people. He phoned other small engine mechanics, and I was on his show. I was one of the ones he phoned that actually sent him the part that he wanted to. Yeah, you guys got to check out Terrell. He's actually entertaining. Absolutely. Alan R. Yeah, you saw that video, eh? Yeah. Kai the Beast. Wow, what a question. If you could meet one person in the world, who would it be? Hands down, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know why that just popped into my head. Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger. If I could meet one person. Yeah, Musty One's great. Donny Boy 73 is great. Donny Boy 73's got lots of he's an awesome small engine mechanic. Absolutely knows what he's talking about. I'd really like to do a collaboration with Donny Boy 73. Harvey Gibson, editing my videos, I use a program called Power Director 16. I think there's actually a 17 and maybe even an 18 out now, but I've felt no reason to actually upgrade. Power Director 16 is what I use. And I don't even use all the features even on that for doing that. But that's what I use. Red Green, yeah, Jordan, yeah. I used to watch the Red Green show. Duct tape, duct tape guy. Keith Brown, you found me through Terrell's channel. Awesome, awesome. Give you the thumbs up right there back again, bud. Well, yeah, of course I have better teeth than Terrell, but I hope you understand those aren't actually his real teeth. At least I don't think they are. Are they? I'm gonna. I got his phone number right here. I should phone him right now. Nah, I'm not gonna. You love my hat? Well, thanks. Thanks. I'm doing my best. You know what I'm going to do? I'm trying to reduce the price of these things. My wife and I were just talking about this yesterday. We're trying to figure out, because of course I don't make these and ship them out from my shop here. They're a third party that ships these out. When you go underneath my video, any one of my videos, there's a little bar along the bottom that says you can buy this, hat, t-shirt like this and stuff. But the hats are too expensive. I think I'm trying to figure out how to make those hats a lower price so more people will buy them. I don't care about making money on a hat. I would just way rather more people out there buy a hat and have one. I think they're nice too. My wife came up with that design. She did that 100% 3 years ago. Don't you guys love having an awesome wife? Oh, it's gold. Bill Stevenson, how many beer have you had today? Well, it's 12:46 right now for me. I cracked that one, and I've had half a beer. 3/4 of a beer now. Thanks for asking. MacGyver can't do what Steve does. I disagree. I love MacGyver. Canadian guy. Richard Dean Anderson was MacGyver. He actually lives not very far from me. He lives in North Vancouver, last I checked. Richard Dean Anderson. I thought about actually phoning him up one day and saying, hey, next time you're in Nanaimo, come across on the ferry, be a guest star on my show. More than welcome. I think he'll tell me to go pound sand, but I could ask. Yeah, Jeff. She is amazing. My wife, I could not do a Steve Small Engine Saloon without April, my wife. She does so much behind the scenes. I call her my executive producer because I looked up one day I looked up the definition of what is an executive producer. And I looked it up and it was word for word exactly what my wife does. She is actually the executive producer of Steve Small Engine Saloon. I could not do this without her. She is awesome. Keith, you used to live in Nanaimo? Really? Corey, see, there's another one. Corey Teed. How do you like the Stihl chainsaws versus the Husky chainsaws? It's an unanswerable question. It depends on whether it's a small one, a medium one, or a big one. It depends on that. There's not one that's better than the other. There's certain models that suck compared to the equivalent other one that doesn't suck as much. So it needs to be a little bit more specific question. Kai the Beast says, are you an actor? Well, my wife says I act like an asshole sometimes. Does that count? I shouldn't have said that. Sorry. I apologize for the vulgarity. Oh man. How are you doing with toilet paper? Well, I'm lucky because I'm Canadian and we can just use our big maple leaves. They're like this big. If I run out, I might think about that. Or maybe not. Yeah, we're good for toilet paper. Apparently Australia is like really like what the heck is that about? Really shy on toilet paper. Prospecting with disabilities. Right on, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate you helping me test this. 218 people on here. Excellent. It's working good. 40 minutes we've been live, guys, and we haven't had a glitch. I don't think we've had a glitch yet that I've seen. The little saw behind me, that little one right there, that's a McCullough. Where's my thing? Right there. That's a McCullough. It's called a mini Mac. It is the tiniest little thing. It runs. I actually had to put a carburetor kit in that thing and get it running again. It runs actually good. There you go. Barefoot drummer. I couldn't agree with you more. He says, Steve, love your channel. Had to get into the small engine repair because of how expensive it is to pay someone else. Bingo. That is exactly why I ever started my channel. That's why. It is expensive to take it into a shop and get somebody to do a 15-minute fix and they charge you $100 for it. Not all shops. I'm not saying all shops. Lots of them, though. Thomas Wiseman, do you like Johnson Red chainsaws? Johnson Red chainsaws, as far as I know, they used to be like this. I'm not sure. Maybe in the last few years, I'm not sure if this is true, but they were the exact same as a Husqvarna. They were literally, you could take a Johnson Red and a Husqvarna and put them side by side, and they were identical chainsaws except for the color of the plastic. Johnson Red was red, Husqvarna was orange. They were absolutely identical. As a matter of fact, it used to be where if somebody got a Husqvarna dealership, they instantly got a Johnson Red dealership too, just because they were the same saw. So yes, to answer your question, yes, I do like them in general. I like them depending on the exact model number, you know. James Bird. I said this on a video, or maybe I didn't comment once, but um, James Bird says, it would be great if you were my neighbor. You wouldn't believe how many comments I get with on and whatever video I'm doing where somebody will say, damn, Steve, I wish you were my neighbor. And I kind of laugh at that and say, well, that's a nice, it's flattering and everything. But yeah, you wished you were my neighbor until I go fire up a chainsaw at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. Then you're not going to wish you were my neighbor anymore. I try not to do that, but I got yelled at once. Hey, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. Shut that thing off. Oh, sorry. Hayden Davis. You know what? I recognize your name because your name's Hayden. It's not a common name. This is cool, bud. I'm really glad that you're here right now. Hayden Davis says, I'm only 13 years old, and I love to work on small engines. What is your favorite motor? Well, I did see a comment from you earlier today, Hayden, on something that I can't remember what video it was that you commented on, but I do recognize your name, and also that you said you were 13 years old again. I love it that some of you young guys out there are so into this. So happy to help you guys. You say, what is your favorite motor? It's kind of the same thing as saying what's my favorite chainsaw. It depends on how big the motor is and what it's used on, what application it's on. I think the highest quality motors are Honda, Kawasaki. Hondas and Kawasaki's, in my opinion, generally, depending on which one, what model it is, but Hondas and Kawasaki's seem to be the best for like riding lawnmowers and walk behind lawnmowers. Tyler Wild, he says I'm 13 too, so I think he's meaning he's 13 years old. Tyler, that's cool, man. I didn't really realize that there was this many young guys coming in. You know what else is astounding to me, you guys? I got to tell you this while we're on that age thing. The amount of ladies that are watching my videos lately. Last year, I would go to my analytics because I can see on my analytics through the YouTube channel of how many people are watching, whether it be their age, range, or their sex, whatever, and where they live, all that stuff. Last year, it was about 10% of all my viewers were women. This year, I checked about a week ago, 20% of my viewers are women now. I think that is freaking awesome. There's that many people, that many women out there who are also fixing their own lawn and garden equipment. I think it's just so awesome. I really do. And these young guys, like we're talking about Tyler, and yeah, Tyler, right on. So yeah, or 13, yeah. Well, don't pay any attention to this. This is just root beer. 13 years old. This is root beer. It says right here, root beer. Right on, Taco. Thanks for coming in, bud. He's taking off. Well, you know what? You know what I said? I actually originally said I'm just going to test this with you guys and I'm going to go like 15, 20 minutes to see if it works. Let's just go for an hour. So we're at 48 minutes. Let's go for another 12 minutes. We'll shut her down at 1 hour. Hopefully I can squeak some more questions in or answers in for you guys if you have any more questions. Captain Ron, PBR. Captain Ron. Hey, Captain Ron. I love you, man. I get a lot of comments saying that I look like Captain Ron, Kurt Russell. Do I look like Captain? I don't look like Kurt Russell. A lot of people say that though, but I don't get it. Tractor Wrangler, I love it. You're gonna need an A&W sleeve for your root beer. I love it. Oh man. Right on, Kai the Beast. Right on. You taking off? Thanks for coming by, bud. Appreciate you stopping. Well, Vince, come on. He says, did you really drink all those beers behind me? Yeah, but not in one day. I didn't drink them all in one day. It took like more than that. More than that. James Hartley, thank you very much. That's a nice compliment. He says my videos are the best. That's a really good question. RRS11, I'm going to say REST 11, says, does oil stored on a shelf ever get old? I think I'm actually hesitant to answer that because I really don't want to say the wrong thing. I think personally, I think this is just my guess that it would have to be stored on a shelf for a very, very long time. Like, I mean, years and years and years for that oil to get old where you can't use it anymore as engine oil. I could be wrong about that. Ooh, the comments are just flying past again. What have we got? 223 people. Thomas Wiseman, yes. Now that I know, he says, are you planning to do another live Q&A soon? Then yes, I am, because now I know that we've gone 52 minutes, we're going, and it's glitch free. I know that this works with this hardwire in here. So yes, I am definitely going to do one. I'm not going to promise right now. I'm going to try really hard to do one again on Saturday, because I know that it's the middle of the week right now, and I think a lot more people will come on a weekend. I'm going to try my best to do another one on Saturday. Like I say, don't hold me to that though. I'm going to try. So yes, are you planning to do it? Yes, I am planning to do it. Yes. Well, I got to keep backing up to read something. I love it that you guys are firing comments down this fast. This is great. You guys are all talking to each other and everything on here. This is awesome. It's a community. We're a community. Cole, that's a good point. Cole says, do a video on things to check before buying a used weed eater. Cole, I have a video out there. Maybe this is what you're referring to, that I have on things to check before you buy a used chainsaw. Many of those things in that video also apply to a weed eater. Lots of points in that video also apply to a lot. Some people, strimmers, line trimmers, weed eaters. So maybe if you haven't checked that one out, maybe check that one out. I don't have a video specifically for weed eaters, but that's a good idea. I think I will check that out. Farrell Johns, how do I find out what time it will be? I think you're talking about my live on Saturday that I'm going to do. I'm going to try to give you guys heads up like I did on this one. Just schedule it so you know it's coming. When I say around noon, what I'm talking about is Vancouver time, Seattle, Los Angeles. We're all the same time because we're going straight down the map like that. So if you know what time noonish is about in Los Angeles or Seattle, it'll be the same time for me. Again, I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Can't promise. I actually want to now. Now that I know this whole thing's working great, I really do want to. Saturday. Ooh, Wilfred. Wilfredo. Wilfredo? Are eager beaver weed eaters any good? I I don't even think I haven't seen a eager beaver weed eater for years. I think they were made by Ryobi, or they're the same type of weed eater as Ryobi, or the old some of the old home lights, maybe. Don't quote me on that. But I haven't seen an eager beaver weed eater sold for years. It has to be old. And to answer your question, are eager beaver weed eaters any good? Well, no. They're the same as, if it is an old one, then they're pretty much not worth fixing anymore. They have to be worn out by now. They're just so old. Oh, yeah, my comments just glitched again. Sometimes they'll go and then they just go bang down to the bottom or the top. I don't know. Yes, you're right. Captain Fantastic. He says McCullough made the eager beaver. You're absolutely right. I actually think they had a sticker on them, now that you said that, that actually says McCullough Eager Beaver on them. And they're old. They are old. There's nothing wrong with McCullough brand name, because McCullough has made some old chainsaws, like the old Husqvarnas and the old Stills, like we're talking like 30 years ago. McCullough was right up there with being the same quality as Husqvarna and Stihl, and they were awesome chainsaws that are still awesome to this day if they're the older ones. You know that old saying, they don't make that like they used to. And that is true on so many levels. Bill Gunter, really? The only channel I'm subscribed to. Thanks, Steve, for more help than you know. Bill, wow. I'm the only channel that you subscribe to? That's a huge compliment. That's very flattering. Thank you very much, Bill. Tra- Tractor Wrangler, good call. He says, yeah, they don't make root beer like they used to. I actually agree with that. Root beer used to be delicious back in the day. Now it just tastes watered down or something. Rust bucket, yeah. Well, yeah, because they're so old. Yeah. See, John R. There you go. Ford or Chevy? Question mark. It's exactly the same question as saying Steel or Husqvarna. If you get 10 guys in the same room and say, what's better, Ford or Chevy? Five of them are going to say Ford, five of them are going to say Chevy. Same thing, 10 guys in the same room. What's better, Still chainsaws or Husky chainsaws? 5 of them are going to say one and the other one. It's just 100%. I don't have an opinion. If I want to buy a Ford car or a truck and it was a good deal, I'd buy it. Chevy, I'd buy it if it was a good deal. Ford. Of course, everybody's got to jump in there now. Chevy, yeah. Yeah, it's just it's something that I just don't really understand. I don't. Captain Ron, I've never tried a Yuling lager, but you know what? I keep seeing that come up. I keep seeing that come up on my channel, on comments on my channel, saying Yuling lager. I keep seeing that, so I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna write that down right now. Yuling lager. I gotta try to find some of that because there's so many of you guys out there saying try that beer. It must be good. Yeah, see, Tyler, exactly, bud. They both have their ups and downs, just like Husky and Still chainsaws and Chevy and Ford. They both have their ups and downs, good points and bad points. It's as simple as that. Oh, Cole. Know anything about a Echo GT 2000 weed eater? GT 2000. It's not the white colored one. They're not orange, but it's a little bit older where it's kind of a very light gray color, almost white, but not quite white. GT 2000. If that's the same one I'm thinking of, then it is an older weed eater, and it'll be a straight shaft. No, it might not be a straight shaft. I think it could be though. Um, I love those old ones. Those old Echoes that are the white grayish color before they turned orange. Those are extremely good weed eaters. Not many around anymore because they've all been fired in the landfill, apparently. Oh, we're at an hour and 2 minutes, guys. I think this might be a good time to call her done for today. I cannot thank you guys enough. I am so serious for testing this with me. This worked out flawlessly. We're going to do another one. I'm going to do everything that I can do to do another live on Saturday at about noon Pacific time. And we'll do this again. I'm looking forward to it. With that hardwire in there and everything. So thank you guys so much for testing this with me. I'm going to have to hang up now, guys. Everybody saying thanks and goodbye. You guys are awesome. You guys are absolutely freaking awesome. This was fun. 1 hour and 3 minutes. We'll do it again. And you know what? Before I do it on Saturday, I'm going to try to give you guys a big heads up on that, so you actually will know when I'm coming on Saturday to just so you know. All right, guys. Right in the camera, Steve. Oh wait, I got to do this. Oh, got to put this here. Okay, I got to try this. Steve out.